Welcome to Elevate. I'm Rachel, and this is Nikki.
Hi, Rachel.
We're here to bring you the best insights from local wellness experts, helping you elevate your health, one simple step at a time.
Don't forget to sign up for our newsletter for curated wellness tips. You can watch this episode on YouTube or Spotify, or listen on Apple Podcast at Elevate Wellness.
On this episode of Elevate.
How does it make you feel when you hear stories that are told about the children, what they're learning, the impact it's having on their families, the impact that it's having on the moms, where they feel they have a place to come now and they're getting opportunities for self-care, for furthering their education? How does that make you feel, Jess?
I cry a lot. I cry quite often. It's amazing. It's more than I could ever have imagined. I mean, these kids have become, my kids, and it's just the most beautiful thing in the world. I jump out of bed in the morning. I can't wait to do more. There's not enough hours in the day to do all the things that I want to do for them. They're the greatest kids, and I am so lucky to just have been in the right place at the right time to be of service to this community and to these kids. It's amazing.
Welcome, Jess and Melissa, to Elevate. We are super excited to have you guys here. There is so much that you offer to our community. You're true community builders. You've got Moms of Myrtle, you have Carolina Kids Co-op, and you have the new Eleanor Society. We're about to dive in deep to all of those things and hear how families and moms benefit from those programs. But before we go into that, can you share with us a little bit how it all got started?
Well, so about 5 years ago, I moved down to South Carolina. I was living up north. It was during COVID, whole bunch of things that added up to me coming with my family down here and looking for a homeschool community or something to do with my daughter that wasn't virtual and wasn't, her sitting at a computer screen. She was in first grade at the time. And so I started what I thought was going to be a small homeschool co-op on the beach called Carolina Kids Co-op. Melissa came down shortly after that from Michigan, but I'll let her tell that story. And Carolina Kids Co-op was wonderful. We started to really build not just a school, but a community with some amazing moms, amazing families, fantastic kids. And as that community sort of grew, we started to do more things and more interesting things. And the opportunity to buy a digital publication called Moms of Myrtle came our way. And we just figured, it's on brand with what we do. We want positive contributions to the community. We want to do great things for moms and for kids. It was just right in line with what we do. And so we took over Moms of Myrtle. And, in taking over Moms of Myrtle, I think we then sort of saw a gap where there was this opening of in-person activities for moms. We had this wonderful co-op that we're at with the kids, and our kids have this great in-person community, and they're doing wonderfully. But I think a lot of who needs a little bit more enrichment now in their lives is the moms. And Eleanor Society was born to create a space where moms could go and better themselves and take workshops all day, and we could provide childcare so those moms could just really focus on themselves one day a week, and that's the Eleanor Society. And Melissa, what did I leave out there?
No, I think you covered it, and I think one of the pieces that led really well into Moms of Myrtle is that we have this amazing group of staff at Carolina Kids Co-op, and we became our own really, really tight-knit community. So we were able to learn things from each other, and then when that was like, okay, how can we help out our moms in this Moms of Myrtle group? We were like, all right, we've got it set. So it really flowed together so well that it's just been astonishing to see, what Jess has started with just a homeschool co-op group. And now it has flourished to we're reaching more and more people, just by doing all of these pieces.
So Melissa, I hear you saying you came into the picture after Jess gets the initiative going. And I would suspect that what you have found is that while being a mom is one of the most important jobs we will ever have, it's also important for us to take care of ourselves. And I think as the years go by, women are starting to buy into that and understand the importance that when we're healthy, we can help our children be healthy mentally, physically, and of course, in your situation with homeschooling and the educational aspect. Talk about why that was important to you to have that community when you met up with Jess and what it's meant to other members of your group.
Sure. So, like Jess, I moved down from Michigan in August 2022, and I had found this nature co-op that we didn't have in Michigan. And I immediately knew that's exactly what we needed. We were 1 year into homeschooling, and I said, this has to be it. This is exactly what we're going to do. So, we drive a little ways in, so, but it has been the best for my kids because they're learning outside, and my kids are very much so outdoor kiddos. And I actually started teaching at Coastal Carolina University, and I knew that that's not where I was meant to be for now. I could be with my kids and go to co-op, and then I would have the ability to make a difference here with these kids every single day and with these families every single day. So yes, I did come in after she started because I saw that's exactly what my kids needed. And it has been exactly what they've needed. And for me, I have gained that community of friends and then also the families. So all of those people are now people that we can, hey, I'm having this issue. I have this thing that I think you know way more than I do about. And so it has created this space for us, especially as moms, that it's like, okay, it's okay if I sign up for this class where I have to, make sure that from 7 to 7:30, I'm taking this fitness class with my friend online because this is what I need to carve out that time for me. So it's almost like giving permission to be like, hey, we're offering these things. Here you go. It's people it's your friend, so it's been fantastic.
I had just heard too that women are increasingly well, I almost want to go back to what you said, Nikki, but they bought into this idea that they could socialize virtually. Here we are virtually, but they could socialize virtually. They could connect virtually. There were less in-person interactions, or they have the responsibility of, home and house, and they stop going out with one another, whether it's for dinner or for lunch. But hormonally, it is actually very important for women to come together and support one another for the home, for the family. Can you talk a little bit about that holistic wellness approach to homeschooling? Because I know that there is layers and reasons for choosing homeschool for your family, many different ones. But can you speak to the holistic wellness aspect of just socializing and building that community with fellow moms and with the children at the same time?
Yeah, well, this week is a perfect example. We've been virtual for school because of the snow, and we are just about losing our minds. We miss each other. Our kids miss each other. We are unhappy. It's a very, very special thing when we all kind of come together. We hug a lot. We cry sometimes. We are very, very close, and we know, we have a meeting every morning at work, and we take a quick look at one of the other women in our group, and we know right away something's going on. What do you need to talk about? What you're carrying some kind of heavier burden today. We are very much in tune with each other, and our whole community to some degree sort of has that connectedness. We are like we are many different parts. When we come together, we're really this one organism that is working together to give these kids an amazing life, an amazing day. And we're just really in tune with each other. We're really supportive of each other, in and outside of, of the co-op. We've got each other's kids sometimes. Somebody's got to go somewhere, we're really, really supportive. And I think that there are a lot of places, especially post-COVID, where there are groups of moms that just don't have that sort of really solid tribe. If I had some sort of a emergency right now, there are a dozen women that I could call and would be here and as quick as they could get here to scoop up my kiddo and, feed and clothe and care for her. And I wouldn't have to think twice about it. And that's just invaluable.
And you wouldn't have to think twice about it. You probably feel comfortable in doing it too, because you've created this family, extended family. There's this saying, it takes a village, but I have talked with friends so often now, and it's like, where's the village?
Right.
We're now this like self-sustained super moms, instead of saying, whoa, wait a minute, let's share this responsibility in this role.
Yeah. Talk a little bit more about some of the programs that you offer, some of the curriculum, the things that you do specifically for your children, and then that you do for yourselves, for the moms.
Sure. Wow. Let me see. What did my kids do today? They had musical theater where they're singing and dancing, and they're doing a play they wrote themselves. We have math all the way from early ed all the way up to algebra. We have obviously our ELA, our science, architectural physics, forensics. We've had entrepreneur classes. I teach a journalism class where our kiddos are researching and they're writing their own newsletter. It is so varied that every semester they get to choose new classes, and it's, what are you most interested in? And I love that it lets my kids learn all of these things from people who are so much more knowledgeable than I am. I know a lot of things about a lot of things, but I don't know about forensics. I surely don't know about painters and paintings. I don't know how to teach them how to sing. So what all of this allows is that my kids get to dive into topics and things that I would never be able to provide them. So for co-op, yeah, I mean, we run the gamut. Your kids don't want to learn about ELA. They don't want to read. But last year we had a Pokemon class, and those kids were reading and they were learning history all at the same time. So we have ways of being very sneaky to meet their interests. And that's what I love about Carolina Kids Co-op, is that it's like that Jess is listening to all of our kids, and she's listening to what they're interested in. And then, oh, we have a Taylor Swift poetry class. Oh, but it's poetry, and you're learning through her songs about all of the different pieces that go into creating them. So that's what I love about it, because every semester it's like, well, what are you going to take now? And the kids we were only going 2 days a week. Now I have to go 3 days a week because they couldn't miss forensics. They couldn't miss physics. They couldn't miss newsletter. And so it has gotten to where they have to go these days because they cannot miss those classes. And I can't say that I felt the same as a kid, that I couldn't miss going to this class. I had to go there for that time. So that's CKC, Carolina Kids Co-op. Eleanor Society, we have everything from somatic awareness, real estate, business, art journaling. We have art classes for the kiddos there too. We have a mental health, learning about your own awareness and how we can be supportive as mothers, taking care of our own mental health while supporting our children's. We're going to do things like children's development, how to help them learn different strategies using like DIY tactics, which are always my favorite. Pilates, ballet, yoga. We're really running the gamut. Yeah. Yeah, we are providing the space though, which I think is great. bringing all the people who know all of those things together. And then we have the opportunity to learn from all of those other people who are so fantastic at what they do and what their knowledge is.
So the Eleanor Society offers workshops for kids, but the parents as well. So a lot of those classes that you just mentioned are for the adults. Is that right?
The Eleanor Society is for the moms. So the workshops are designed for the women, but we also provide childcare. So, it's primarily CKC instructors providing the childcare. So they're not going to just, hang out at the playground. Of course, they're going to do, art classes and emotional skills classes and make it enriching. And we always want to get the most out of our time. So even though the focus is on the moms, the kids will be doing cool things too.
So when you say CKC, you're talking about Carolina Kids Co-op for our listeners that are like, wait,
Correct.
it's CKC. Okay.
That's
Okay.
right.
So your co-op is providing that. Okay. So can you walk me through the structure of homeschooling? What does a day look like for the parent and child?
Well, for homeschooling in general, it can look however you want it to look. That is the beauty of homeschooling. For us at Carolina Kids Co-op, we look very much like a private school that the roof and the walls were taken off, and where the kids were given a lot more agency and independence. We're ringing a bell. A lot of our parents are dropping off. Some are staying and hanging out at the park, which we welcome. It can be whatever your comfort is. And our kids go from class to class. They take 4 classes a day and have a nice hour-long lunch and recess in the middle so they can actually run around and enjoy the outdoors with their friends. So it looks very much like you might think of school. And it's only if you sat down in a classroom, you might really get the true difference, even though people think, that the big difference is that we're outdoors. But I think that the big difference is in the way that we prioritize emotional health, and that we really take an individual, holistic view of our kids, which is, how we approach all of our projects. We want to look at the whole person. Same thing with Moms of Myrtle and Eleanor Society. If we want to improve the lives of women, we know that a byproduct of that is strengthening families and improving lives of kids. It's all connected.
Let's take a deeper dive into that emotional health aspect, because we know in today's world, it's a lot. We have a lot going on. We become overwhelmed. Mental health, emotional health and well-being is something that we need to be addressing more of, and it does get more attention now, but there's still a long way to go. I think just an awareness and an acknowledgement of that has finally happened, long overdue. Talk more about how you are addressing emotional and mental health with your children, because it's so important.
We start young. We start right away. And the the foundation of it is that our teachers know our kids. We have small groups, not if there's, if with the young ones, we have multiple hands. So it's not like 20-to-1 ratio. We have 4 for, 20 kiddos if we need it, but we try not to get that big. But it's starting young and noticing who those kids are and learn their different behaviors, their unique qualities. And that is the biggest piece. So when we say good morning to a kid and that kid's usually bubbly and it's not, we immediately know, and it's okay, we're going to go let all the staff members know our friend needs help. So depending on how that looks for that friend, whether that's one-on-one attention, whether that's, hey, a little conversation, that's lunch with us, which is not a punishment. The kids love eating lunch with us. If we're like, oh, you want to come sit? There's always that sense of community, even with teachers and kids. And then having specific social emotional classes that are age appropriate to what they need. So one of my daughters is taking a uniquely me class, and she's a teenager. Perfect. It's the thing she needs to make sure that she is staying herself and feeling like she needs to. My younger one last year, she took a social emotional class, and I heard her say, when you say that, I feel this.
So good.
Next time, I'd like you to do this. And it was just mind blowing. I'm messaging the teacher right away. Thank you. Thank you. Because it's obvious of how these things go all the time. And it's giving them those skills, learning big problems from small problems when they're young, when they're 5, when they're 6, to where when they get to be a teenager, we can look at them and go, is it a big problem? Is it just a small problem? So really focusing on what they need at each age and supporting them. And it's not just one person, it's the whole team, and it's parents. So we'll have a parent say, hey, I noticed this little friend seems to be struggling. What can I do to help? Or just pointing it out. So in case we missed it, we see them. But like Jess said, every morning we have a staff meeting where we check in on parents. And after that, we have a school-wide meeting. It's called a family meeting. So now we have eyes on everybody at the same time so that we can see how are we looking? How are we feeling? And that's really important, to give them the skills, and also having people notice who needs the support. And is there certain classes they need support in, or is it just the whole day, or is it a moment because they're teenagers? So it really, yeah, it really runs the gamut, but definitely starting young and starting right away and making sure that every age group is met every single semester. So there's opportunities. It's not just once a month, it's every single week.
Mm-hmm. That's good stuff, because when I was coming along in school, I'm a little bit older than all of you beautiful ladies. And so these were things that were never said when I was a child. And what you're teaching your children is a way to understand their feelings. It's also a way to verbalize and communicate. And when they learn those skills at such a young age, they will be able to take that throughout their life, which then rolls over into them being productive adults and being able to have these conversations, and their relationships will thrive because they have learned how to communicate. I think that's amazing and wish that I would have had that when I was younger. And even my children who are in their 20s now didn't get that kind of education when it comes to the emotional and mental support that they needed and could have, found great value from receiving in their childhood and their schooling. So it's beautiful that you guys are aware of that and implementing it, and that your children are clearly taking that and using it and learning from it and becoming better for it. That's wonderful. That's a beautiful story about the children that are going home and repeating it to their parents. So that's amazing.
Thank you.
That is amazing. I think, we're all relational, and if your relationships are failing, personal and work life and friendships, then you're going to start feeling it. That's where kids start feeling, the depression levels go up. They don't know how to interact with one another. I mean, that right there is one of the most invaluable lessons and teaching tools that we could probably give our kids.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we also see, academic progress because of it. A lot of the times think that kids are not doing well academically because there is some sort of, cognitive or just, academic block in some way. But often it's just whatever their, emotions that they're dealing with, trauma that they're dealing with. It's very hard for them to succeed academically if they're really struggling emotionally. So we try to kind of get to the root of that first, and then we can really watch them very quickly soar academically.
Mm-hmm. It makes total sense. Yeah.
So you have students in the co-op from what age to what age?
Our Mommy and Me program has kids as young as 1.
Oh.
And that's with a parent that stays with them and plays with them. And our preschool, or we call it early education, starts at age 4, and we go through age 17 currently.
Okay.
Wow, that is wonderful.
Yeah.
So for families that are considering homeschooling, What is like one of the biggest misconceptions that you'd like to chat about?
I think socialization. It's a thing that's thrown at us all the time. And let's see, when did I stop teaching? 2017. It hasn't been that long. But there's not time in the day. And I taught kindergarten, first grade. That's when they're supposed to be socializing. And I got that in by doing centers. Okay. And then you have a 15-minute lunch and a 15-minute recess, and then you leave. So a lot of people will say, like, oh, well, how are they getting socialized? It's like, well, have you been in a school lately? Because there's not really that opportunity isn't given in an authentic way. You know, maybe you have to have group work, but does that mean that they're learning to control their emotions, that they're learning how to interact with someone, to say kind things and to talk positively about someone else? No. 15 minutes of recess is nothing. That's not enough time for them to move their bodies. And I think that also, like Jess said, it doesn't have to look one way. On days that we don't go to co-op, it looks completely different. We have slow mornings. We, get up, we have a farm, so we do farm chores, and then we do school. And what that looks like for one family looks completely different than another family. And I think that it's important for people who are considering it to know that you have options. You could do a co-op. You could do a co-op some days. Then you can do whatever you'd like to do at home. You can choose curriculum that meets your family's needs, to meet your children's needs. And there's opportunity for them to grow without being pushed. We can learn more than just, ELA, math, science, social studies. There's so many more things to learn in the world than that. So I've been having conversation a lot lately about, I am so excited to see what our kids do in the future. They're coming out with so many more skills, so many more opportunities, even just the social emotional, looking at that, than I ever got, and that was ever taught in any classrooms that I've ever been in. So I think the main thing is socialization is what you make it. If you choose not to go venture out, then don't. That's what you want. But there's also free library things. There's, all these opportunities. The homeschool community in Myrtle Beach is huge. If nobody's ever looked into it, it's huge. We have so many co-ops and organizations and all of these things that the opportunity to meet other families and to get to know somebody else is huge. So I love the main fact of you get to help your child learn their way, learn the things that they're most interested in. And that was really what drew us to it. And we are also very outside people. So Carolina Kids was just just the way to go for us.
You
I think
mentioned
there's also, I'm sorry.
No, go ahead.
I think there's also, a misconception about academic rigor when it comes to homeschool. I think people think that there's a lot of people who subscribe to a more unschooling type of behavior or organization of their homeschool, and so they are child led, and that might lead to less academics and more focus on electives. That's a really small sector that's gotten a lot of attention, but I think there's many groups like us where we are really focused on academics and rigorous academics. And what we've learned through speaking to college admissions folks and listening to TED Talks from various directors for universities is that Ivy Leagues love homeschool kids. Lots of colleges and universities love homeschool kids. They know how to learn independently. They know how to take care of themselves. They're very self-led. So I think there's also this idea that somehow your academics are going to go down a notch if you're homeschooling. And I think it is quite the opposite. And often in many of the traditional schools, the academic rigor leaves a lot to be desired. So we are, really serious about our academics and at least meet and really exceed national standards with our kiddos.
I think it's great that you talked about the college admission process, because that is something that is seen to be, well, how can you be preparing your students for that next level of education? I mean, there are there are applications, there are tests to be taken, and all of your students have to go through certain testing to reach certain levels. So it's wonderful that you're addressing that for any parent who may want to go down this road of homeschooling. And I think you totally touched on something that has always been in my mind, is the socialization aspect of it. It sounds like Moms of Myrtle is just doing above and beyond, giving your students options. And I think that's phenomenal. Not every parent can be a homeschooling parent. It just doesn't work. But if I have that option and I want it, your resources are incredible that you are providing for your students and for the parents, which leads me back to something that Melissa, you touched upon earlier, is that there's so much happening in the Myrtle Beach area that you can take advantage of, like the library. Sometimes I think that as a society, we've forgotten the importance of having a library and the free activities that take place there, which really makes it a beautiful marriage of taking advantage of all the things that are happening in the community and infusing it into what you're doing, right?
Yeah, and one of the things with Moms of Myrtle is we have a twice weekly newsletter that covers a bunch of activities that you can do every single week with your kids. And so we have our newsletter subscribers and we put it on our social pages as well. But I agree. Honestly, the library was left off. November, December, so busy with all of the events and all of the activities that now we're like, okay, what's actually free that people could go to every single week? If you have a baby, there's baby and toddler story time for free. And that's fantastic. And there's so many libraries in Horry County, in the surrounding area, that you can go to something every single day of the week if you wanted to. The other thing that I really love is the amount of parks we have. There's parks everywhere that have everything you could possibly want for all the age groups. And that's also super fun and free too. So that's another great thing about homeschooling is that, oh, you want to go on a field trip to the aquarium? Science, reading, so finding those ways that you can have those opportunities to have academics with something that you're doing that's fun is always good. But the Myrtle Beach community is fantastic. There's so many activities that support families. Every week, there's many things to do every single day, which is wonderful.
Yeah, I have to say that I came to know you both through Moms of Myrtle. So again, you have the Carolina Kids Co-op, homeschooling, classroom without the roof and the actual building. I love that visual. And it sounds like you are nurturing children where they love to be the most. And I can only imagine that the little boys, especially, aren't antsy to get out of their seat as much because they're not in it as much as what we typically see them in through what you're offering. So you have the Carolina Kids Co-op, and then you have Moms of Myrtle, which is this absolutely incredible resource. As a fellow mom, I have an 11-year-old now, but I have followed you guys and shared this resource to anybody and everybody that was looking for what was going on in the area, because there is so much, it can be overwhelming. And then you have like that FOMO. You don't want to miss out on the events and this and that, or where's the weekend getaway or what have you. It's absolutely brilliant. So that being shared, can you talk a little bit more to our audience that does not know yet, but needs to know and will know after this, all things Moms of Myrtle?
Well, Moms of Myrtle is a digital publication. We like to think of ourselves as an online community. We are local moms ourselves. We want to tell you all the great things that there are going on in the community every week that are great for couples, that are great for kids, that are great for moms. We focus on the entire Grand Strand. So all the way down by Georgetown, all the way up through Calabash. We want to tell you all the things happening. We also now have an in-person Monday event called the Eleanor Society. So we want you to come out and, if you can, meet other moms in real life and let your kids get to know other kids as well. So we're really here to just try to find all the different ways to uplift and support women and families in our area.
Yes, stop searching. It's like a one-stop shop for all things family oriented. It's beautiful.
We've
I
got a
love
great
it.
summer camp guide. Melissa is working hard to get the summer camp guide out. So you definitely want to look out for that.
Wow, hard to believe we're already talking about summer, but you have to stay ahead of things, right?
You really do. We've had people asking us since January. I said, okay. I think also that we do all the weekly, the weekend events and things like that, but we also have resources about small businesses because we love highlighting all the small businesses. There's so many. We've done highlights of photographers, people who are like cleaning services. We have like pediatrician directories, daycares, all the things that we try to run the gamut of. If you need something, come look here first. So that's really fantastic because we have all of our socials, we've got our newsletter, and we have our website. So if you're not finding what you need on our socials, feel free to let us know or go to our website because most of the stuff lives there. So that's what's been really great of this project is not only here's all the things that we want to do, and our kids are always so excited to go out and do all of the fun things, but also is to find the especially women-owned businesses that we can help promote and share out what they do because there's so many small businesses that don't get the attention that they deserve. And so that's something else that we're trying to do too. Hey, you want to go look at this great food that we just ate because it was amazing. You should go check them out.
Isn't that the beautiful thing about support? When you build a support system, especially I believe women need that because we are doing the scheduling, we're doing the transporting kids from here to there, we're lining up the classes, we're involved in our church, we're doing all the things. So when you have a place, a safe place that you can go, a reliable place that you can go, I'm more at ease in my role as a mom and the things that I have to do because I may also be that business owner and a mom and all of things. Touch on the importance of support and how that really impacts those who come to the table to get information, but also how those of you who are in the throes all of the time with Moms of Myrtle and those of you that are also homeschooling and that are coming to the Eleanor Society, what the support means to you for you and your health and well-being.
You want me to go, Jess? Okay. So for me, I will say that I have been very focused for such a long time on building education, building career, doing all of those things. And then when you have a space that's like, hey, come here and slow down for a minute, and here's all these things that you can come do with your kids, and the support of, hey, I am really struggling in this one spot that I can call a friend that I wouldn't have besides this. And this type of community was never there where we lived. And we, like I said, we go far for this. We will drive 3 hours every day because those are our people and that is our community. And we've had some crazy and terrible things that have happened within our community families. And like Jess said, the people who are like, what do you need? You need to move? Okay, here's a text thread. We're going to have 10 people to move you. You're moving in this new house? Hey, we've got 3 ladies that'll be there on Monday to clean it for you. So the support that if something were to happen to my kids or me, I know, like Jess said, I know I'd have people, what do you need? I'll come get you. I'll come get your kids. And it's not like we say that, but we've seen it in person several times where it's, hey, you've got my kid for right now. I have to take you over here so that I can get you what you need. And it is something that I've never seen and I've never been a part of ever. And so that's what we're trying to take from Carolina Kids Co-op to Eleanor Society and Moms of Myrtle and make it like, hey, we're a digital resource, but we also want to be a community. We want to be a community of friends and women who support other women wherever you are. You need a hug. You need to just sit here and just absorb, just sunshine with us. Fantastic. Come as you are, because we have everything that you could possibly need here. So it's meant more to me than I could probably put into words of, moving from a different state to some place where, people think I'm crazy. I don't know. I didn't know anyone here. We moved to a spot where we had no family, we had no friends, but we found our community, and it's been such a huge blessing for us.
Well, Melissa, that is just lovely. In a time where people in society, I think, feel more and more isolated and disconnected, there's your support in your community, and you offer it to how many kids, Jess, did you tell me?
Well, at the Myrtle Beach location, we've got 152.
At the Myrtle Beach location. So there's another location.
Carolina Kids Co-op has 15 different locations across the South.
Okay.
That's a whole additional conversation.
That will be part 2.
Part 2.
We will have to talk about that on part 2.
Yeah.
How incredible.
All over the country. So we're on it.
How are part 3 is how you're even managing all of that.
Well, we've got a great team. As we keep saying, we've got a great, amazing team. We're very lucky.
That is amazing.
Yeah.
Nikki, I had a question and it escaped me.
Well, I'll jump in really quick. But Jess, when you started this, when you moved, did you ever imagine it would grow to the level that it's grown to now, reach so many people, have the impact that it's having on you and so many others?
Absolutely not. No question about it. I thought that I was going to have a nice little group of first graders on the beach, and we could avoid the online schooling for a couple of years. And that would be so great. And that would be a total success. If I could have, 5 or 6 families that wanted to do school with me and my daughter, that would have been great. But what I did not count on was Melissa joining in and all of the rest of our team at CKC joining in. And that's what made the difference. I mean, me by myself, I probably would have had a nice little group at the beach. But these ladies that have, become this amazing sisterhood that we have, makes just anything possible. When we put our minds to it, we can do a lot.
Man, that's such a testament to just being obedient to that nudge, when you get that itch to start doing something, and just little things, one little thing at a time, and look at what it's grown to be. That's incredible.
Yeah.
How does it make you feel when you hear stories that are told about the children, what they're learning, the impact it's having on their families, the impact that it's having on the moms, where they feel they have a place to come now and they're getting opportunities for self-care, for furthering their education? How does that make you feel, Jess?
I cry a lot. I cry quite often. It's amazing. It's more than I could ever have imagined. I mean, these kids have become, my kids, and it's just the most beautiful thing in the world. I jump out of bed in the morning. I can't wait to do more. There's not enough hours in the day to do all the things that I want to do for them. They're the greatest kids, and I am so lucky to just have been in the right place at the right time to be of service to this community and to these kids. It's amazing.
It's beautiful. I have one more question. What do the men think about all that's happening within your group? They're reaping the benefits from you guys just being so dang happy, I'm sure, right?
I think so. I think they're proud of us. What do you think? Melissa, I'll let you answer that one.
Yeah, I think they are really proud of us. I think that having your your partner, your spouse have a space for people who lift them up, even at the end of the day, where they've had a really terrible day. And we literally just had this happen. And I can tell you that there were 20 people crying, laughing at the end of a text message at probably 11 o'clock at night. And it had been the most stressful day. Technology was not on our side and we missed our people. And it was just what you needed. And I think that we have also, it's not, I mean, we have a core of women who are teaching and leading, but also we have dads who are there who bring their kids to co-op every day. And so making sure that all of our families, whatever they look like, always feel welcome has always been really important as well. And so if it is the dad who's dropping off, the dad who's bringing whatever, it's not like a, whoa, it's, hey, how are you? You know, what do you need? You know, your child is growing up. Do you need some support? You know, what can we offer to you? So while our core group is our ladies, it really does just trickle down to everybody. And I think that when you have somebody who is supporting your kids wherever they are or your family, go for it 100%.
I was just being a little funny about the
No.
dads, the partners,
Yeah.
but I mean, they do benefit from the moms being taken care of, and it's beautiful that there's a place where the moms can go and lean on one another, and so it's great that you guys have that for each other.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Really is a holistic approach to family care and support and community. What are the questions, topics that are circulating among this supportive group with respect to health and wellness? What are the things that the moms are sharing?
I mean, I think for the moms in our circle, at least, it's a lot of logistics that really, you know, and that circles back to why we started the Eleanor Society and why the Eleanor Society also includes childcare, because, you know, a lot of us want to eat better and exercise more and be healthier and read books and pick up hobbies and do all kinds of things, but we're busy. You know, our crew, especially, you know, the ladies that work with us, I mean, we're really busy. We're trying to do a lot of really big things, and it's hard to carve out time for yourself. So we have to make sure that we're figuring it out for ourselves, because that figures it out for all the other women as well. And that really starts with making sure the kids are good and occupied, and not just being, you know, having to be somewhere as sort of a peripheral part of something, but having something fun and cool and exciting and interesting and engaging for themselves, so that you as a woman can really be a little bit selfish for a minute and focus on yourself.
So the question was never what do I need to do? It is how do I do it? And don't tell me to prioritize it, because that's it. I just love that. Well, you have to prioritize it.
Right.
Okay.
Well, you know, my child would like to also eat today. So
Yes.
there's a lot of things that are a top priority, you know?
Yes. Yeah. Wonderful.
What's next for you women, for all of the levels and that you have going on? I mean, what's next? I mean, you're doing so much. You're homeschooling. You're providing this platform to inform all of the moms in the area.
We're laughing. Yeah, we're laughing because, you know, there's always something next. I always have something
usually there
up
is.
my sleeve. And usually when I come to work and say, guys, I have an idea, they all scatter in 20 directions because they don't want to hear it. And not because they're not going to like it, but because they know they're going to love it. And then they're going to have to figure out how they're going to fit it into their schedule. So I have trapped Melissa with this strategy many, many times now. If I just make her an offer she can't refuse, then next thing you know, we've got another great project. So we're just gonna keep growing. We're gonna keep finding ways that we can serve women and children and better their lives and better our lives. And so wherever we see that gap, that's where we wiggle our way in.
No doubt Melissa's on board. She was laughing, saying, "Oh yeah, I'm going to be right there."
You'll be right there with me.
Yeah, I mean, Moms of Myrtle started with Jess, and then it was, hey, I don't understand this tech thing. Do you think you could just help me with this tech thing? And now it is my full-time job.
That's what happens.
Exactly. But I'm so happy to, because now it's not just the newsletter. It's all the things that we can do to help provide support for this community. So what starts as like a little piece always ends up going bigger and better. But yes, no, there is no end to the ideas that Jess has. And it's great and it's fantastic, because if it weren't for her, we would have none of this. So
well, and I would say the same thing about her. Because again, like I can have a good idea, but it just will stay in my head without these amazing ladies that work alongside me every day. So it's for sure a team effort.
It takes a village.
Yeah.
And you're absolutely in such incredible service to the community. I thank you for everything that you provide. Not only the families that are part of the homeschool and the co-op, but also the families that turn to you to create a community through Moms of Myrtle, or the parents that would like to do some continuing ed or workshops, something that is in service to their own health and wellness and will flow into their families through the Eleanor Society. It is absolutely wonderful.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, I love how you empower each other and lift each other up. It's beautiful. We need more of that in the world.
Thank you, ladies.
Before we go, I have one more question. Nikki, are you ready?
I'm ready.
What is the one thing that you would encourage families to do, implement into their day today to elevate their health and wellness journey?
So I think that you should take a break from your device, step away from the endless things, and go spend time outside, go spend time with your kids, reconnect with the people that you love, with the people in your home. It's such a huge thing, even when it is rainy out or whatever. You can play games, you can play a card game. We don't even need internet. That's one of the biggest things for us in our house, is what can we do that's just sitting around the table and having a moment to ourselves, and making sure that you're, I don't want to say carving out time, because that's always what it is, right? We're going to carve out time. Well, that's difficult to do, but what's like one thing for 5 minutes you could just do for yourself? Can you sit quietly and drink your coffee? Can you listen to your song? Can you do something just for a short amount of time? And I think that's the biggest thing for me, is let me find 5-10 minutes, and that'll always grow to more and more. And then it will help you in every day.
It's good.
I love that. Jess, did you want to add to that? A most amazing one simple step. And if you put your device down, you have more time. You have that 5 minutes to yourself.
No, I couldn't agree more. I think that we're all really busy. We have a lot going on. And as women, we tend to give a lot of ourselves to the other people in our lives. And if you can just, for me, it might be like a 20-minute run just by myself, or listening to a podcast. And it just makes a really huge difference to just sort of have a minute to be in your own head. So I couldn't agree more. I think that is the number one change to make if you're not doing that for yourself.
Beautiful. I love it. I agree.
Yeah. Thank you, ladies, for
Thank you
being here with us.
Thank you for having us.
Thank you.
Okay, don't go anywhere. We're Hi, friends. Please leave us a 5-star review and let us know what you thought of today's episode. Share it with someone who needs a little inspiration and tell them why they should tune in to Elevate, your go-to resource for healthy living here in the Green Strand.
Each week, we're cultivating conversations that inspire well-being, support the ebb and flow of coastal living, and help elevate our community's wellness journey.
Don't forget to join our newsletter, a culinary garden of resources, including our downloadable Wellness Made Simple with curated tips from our local wellness experts. You can click on the link in show notes to subscribe.
And of course, stay connected with us on YouTube at Elevate Health Grand Strand and on Instagram and Facebook. You'll find those links in the show notes. We hope you enjoyed today's episode. The information provided in the Elevate podcast and associated materials is for general informational purposes only and is not intended as medical advice. No content should be considered a substitute for professional medical advice, diagnosis, or treatment. Always seek the advice of your physician or other qualified health provider with any questions you may have regarding a medical condition or treatment. Reliance on any information provided by Elevate, its host, guest, or contributors is solely at your own risk. We encourage you to consult with a healthcare professional before making any significant changes to your diet, exercise, or wellness routine. Ultimately, your health and well-being are unique to you, and it's important to make informed decisions based on your individual needs.